Welcome back to the Guitar Reliquary. Today we're getting wine drunk. That's right, folks. Today we're checking out the very first Ibanez of the channel, the Ibanez RGT1221PB SWL. So what that means is the PB is for poplar burl, which is this eye-catching poplar burl on the top, and SWL is for stained wine low gloss. This is a new 2024 finish for a model that was introduced a few years ago. We're going to talk today about the specs, about why it's not for me, but why it might be right for you. So to begin, we start with a neck through design, which means that the neck runs all the way through the body, and on either side of that neck through is a basswood body piece, and then on the front is poplar burl. And the poplar burl on this is quite thin. I would wager maybe 1/8 of an inch thick, and consequently, when the body is beveled, you lose some of the top here. You don't see the top over here, you just see the exposed basswood underneath. Now, as far as that neck is a 7-piece maple walnut neck. So you've got maple, walnut, maple, walnut, maple, walnut, maple, walnut, maple, walnut, maple, walnut, maple. And that's what constructs the neck. Now, 7-piece necks are extremely stable because they're several pieces of wood glued together. Some people don't like the looks of multi-piece necks. They prefer 1-piece necks, or they think there's tonal benefits to that. I'm not sure. I just know that they're incredibly stable, and that means that you don't have to adjust the necks quite as much as on guitars with 1-piece necks, especially if those 1-piece necks have not been dried appropriately at the factory. And then mounted to that neck is a beautiful ebony fingerboard, and the ebony on this one has some streaks in it, but they're just very very dark brown streaks, so it looks nice and dark for the length of the fretboard. It is a little bit dirty out of the box, probably could use a little bit of cleaning, but I didn't see the need. It looks fine to me. So as far as the setup, it comes with a string-through body design, so you've got your string ferrules, that comes through the monorail bridge. And the monorail bridge means that you have 6 individual saddles mounted to the body. Those saddles are sort of like the American Fender style, where they're a block as opposed to a bent steel, which I prefer. However, the adjustment screws are not of the matching height, and so on your high strings, those adjustment screws stick up, and if you play a lot of palm muted stuff down here, you might abrade the side of your hand. It's not a big deal for me, but it might be something of interest to you all. You have 2 DiMarzio humbuckers in this. You've got a DiMarzio Air Norton in the neck and a DiMarzio Tone Zone in the bridge. It's a classic Ibanez DiMarzio pickup setup. These are controlled by a 5-position switch, and the switching for this is actually so complicated that I'm just going to show a diagram next to me so you can see what that switching diagram looks like. But effectively, all the way up is neck, in the middle is the 2, and all the way down is the bridge, and that's where I spend most of my time. You also have a master volume and a master tone control, and this 2-way alter switch. So what this alter switch does is it coil splits, coil taps, does some pretty wild stuff. Again, I'll show a diagram of what the alter switch does right here so you can see what that's all about, or maybe it will be over here. We'll see how much room there is in the frame. I tried to use both with and without the alter switch. I didn't use any of the in-between positions, but I did use neck, both pickups, and bridge with the alter switch up and the alter switch down, so you could see what those tones were like in the demo. Comes with a 15 3/4 inch radius, which is fairly standard for Ibanez guitars. Has jumbo stainless steel frets on it, which I am personally a big fan of. Those frets are actually perfectly level out of the box. They didn't need any adjustment. They're also very well polished, and the fret ends are not protruding from the edge of the neck. The beautiful inlays on this are a mix of acrylic on either side of abalone, and I think that that looks phenomenal. It's probably the most attractive feature of the guitar, if you ask me. And of course, a 25.5-inch scale length, as is common with almost all Ibanez guitars. Nut is a molded plastic nut, so you may choose to replace that with Graphtec. I think I've seen a few people talking about Graphtec upgrades for this. Has 6 Goto locking tuners, which are actually my favorite type of locking tuner out there. I think they're the most stable, the most effective at what they do. As far as the truss rod, it's a 2-way truss rod, has the beautiful easy access port that Ibanez's often come with. You just push that out of the way like so, and you can insert your truss wrench right into the truss rod channel. Has a scarf joint on the back of the neck since it's tilt back headstock, help prevent headstock breaks, though with a 7-piece neck I would be less concerned about that than with a 1-piece neck. As far as side dots, they are Luminlay glow-in-the-dark side dots, which are beautiful. They help you track where you are when you are playing. And then, of course, just the control cavities on the back for the electronics and for the output jack. So why do I say this guitar is not for me? Well, first off, I'll tell you what I really like about it. One of the things I really like about it is this finish. I think this low gloss finish is a really cool finish. I'm not sure why we don't see this on more guitars. I think I had a John Scofield guitar that was a low gloss as well, and it's just a really attractive finish. Perhaps the reason it's not on lots of guitars is because it indents very easily. So there's lots of indents here along the back just from routine play. Another choice that they made was to not grain fill the poplar, and so you can actually feel and see the divots in the poplar burl top, which again, I don't mind. I think that looks unique and it gives character to the guitar, but some other folks might find that off-putting. Also like the black nickel, black chrome hardware that's on it. I think that looks really phenomenal. The thing that turns me off about this guitar, which is probably the main reason that people like Ibanez guitars, is the neck. The neck for me is far too thin. It's almost like I'm playing in hyperdrive, and I make a lot of mistakes when I have a neck this thin. I also have a lot of hand pain when I play a neck this thin. So I suffer from de Quervain's tendinophysitis, which is commonly known as gamer's thumb. Even though I don't do that much gaming, I think it's from overuse of my laptop. I'm a vigorous spacebar hitter, and so I often get a lot of pain in my thumb in particular along the tendon right here, and it was exacerbated playing this guitar. So for that reason, I probably won't hold on to this. Even though it's a beautiful guitar, I think it sounds good. Like I said, it plays stupid fast, but it's not going to work for me. I need a bigger neck so that I don't get those hand pains. Beyond that, I think I've covered everything about the guitar. If you're interested in one of these, I suggest you get out and play it. They really are a lot of value for the money. They are made in Indonesia as opposed to Japan because they're a premium series Ibanez. And at $13.99 US dollars, that might be a bit of a stretch for some folks, especially when for like $16.99 you can get the George Lynch LTD, which I would vastly prefer to this guitar, or for $6.99 you can get that beautiful Swamp Ash PRS. Now, of course, it doesn't have the bespoke features that this one does, but certainly that's a consideration. So check out the demo, let me know what you think. All right, we're back from the demo. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you haven't already, please hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, check out some of the other videos. Otherwise, have a phenomenal day.